Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Emily and I hope you're having a beautiful day so far. Today I'm going to be sharing with you 5 Dollar Tree Christmas DIYs, and I really love the way these turned out, so I hope that you'll be inspired after watching this and be able to create them yourself. So for this DIY, you're going to want all of these products, and of course you can add or take away any of them that you want. The first step was to paint the metal word in black. Again, you can do whatever coloring that you would like for this project. I'm doing, you're going to kind of see the theme that I'm doing this year for my home. So again, if this is not the coloring that you want, feel free to pick any ribbon or coloring that you want that fits your decorating style. The next step was to take the tiki bar sign and paint the back of it white. It's already white, but it's more of a dull white and I didn't like the coloring of it, so I'm painting that with the Waverly chalk paint. You can pick that up at Walmart. It's really thick. I really like it. The next step is to take whatever ribbon you're using and then place your sign on it, and then use a pencil and kind of trace out the design. And I did this and just cut this out with some scissors as I wanted it to match up perfectly. You don't have to do that. If you have a straight sign, you could just wrap it around the back of the sign as well. But since mine was jagged edged, I wanted to keep that. I added a little bit of wood glue to the trim of the basically the V's in there, and then I went ahead and flipped over the ribbon and then added hot glue to the back side of it. You can use E6000 for this if you'd like, or a super glue. I like hot glue just because it's easier for me to work with for different projects, but again, you can do what works best for you. You could even Mod Podge this on there if you wanted to. It's completely up to you. So once you get that on there completely, go ahead and just finish it out by doing the edges. And then the next step is to take your believe sign and glue that on. Hot glue works okay for this. I would definitely suggest for this, if you want it to be permanent, use some E6000. I'm adding a couple snowflakes on there for the top of the eye, and I decided to take this reindeer. Dollar Tree has various colors of these. Split it in half because it's already cut, they just glue it, and then I added some glue to the back of it, and then I'm adding that to each side of my sign, and I think this came out so cute. On camera the ribbon looks a little darker, but it's actually really beautiful in person. For the next DIY, these are all the supplies that you will need. This is really cute. I will say, when you're using a canvas, removing the canvas part is the most irritating part of this. So just keep that in mind. Once you get it removed, then you're just going to cut off the extra, and you're going to make sure once you're done cutting it, it lines up perfectly around the edges of the wood. I've done one of these before and I didn't measure properly, so make sure you do that. It lines up really well. And then I just got this printout from online. I just did a music sheet, and this one was actually tinted already, but if you wanted it to be different, you could do something else. It's completely up to you. I'm going to take some glue or Mod Podge, whatever you have on hand, and you're going to spread that out onto the top of the canvas, the pretty side of the canvas, which will be the wider side, and then you're going to press on that sheet of paper and then just Mod Podge the ends and let that dry. Now the next step is optional. My sheet of music did not cover the entire canvas, so I just took this twine, lapped it over the length of the canvas, and then cut it down in basically 4 strips. And then I'm just going to take a bead of glue and run that down the side, each side of the music sheet, and then I'm going to just press that on. It just gives a little detail. It's not necessary if you don't want to. You could use ribbon if you wanted for that. I just was trying to give it a little bit more of a vintage feel. Then I took the wax, antiquing wax from Waverly, and spread that just on the top, inside and outside of the frame. This is optional. You could paint this brown, you could paint it black, red, whatever coloring you want. And then I just took my napkin and spread that out a little bit, and it basically looks like stain. I really like this stuff, but it doesn't smell like stain. And then I went ahead and repeated the same process for the Jenga blocks. You can get these in the toy aisle at Dollar Tree. They come in a package, and I've used these for multiple projects already. So I'm gluing 3 of them together, and then I'm going to take the second 3 and I'm going to glue them side by side. and you're just going to add glue. You can use super glue for this if you want to be a permanent hold. The hot glue works just fine for me, but do what works best for you and your projects. And then I'm going to take hot glue and place that all the way around the border of the wood trim, and then we're going to place that onto our canvas. I would suggest using a mixture of hot glue and E6000 just so that it stays permanently, but that's up to you. Then I had this bow that came from Walmart, and it was a little bit larger, so I just went ahead and undid it and then just trimmed it down, making it half the size basically. And you can do a bow if you want to or not, it's completely up to you. I decided to add that to the side of my sign here, and then I decided to take the rest of that ribbon and fold it over onto itself, gluing it down, and then add it to the very front bottom of my sign. I really liked the way it added a little bit of character to it. It's really pretty. And then I took a couple thumbtacks, silver ones, and pressed those down into each corner, or you can hit them down depending on what it is, and this is how it turned out. I really love how old and vintagey this looks. I think it's really, really cute. So for the next DIY, these are the supplies that you will want. You can use whatever ribbon or fabric that you want. This fabric came from Walmart, and it's a really good price. They sell them in like $1 to $3 worth and already measured out for you. And I love this print. I decided to use the edge of the material that had the frayed edge on it. I liked the way it added a little bit of character to my wreath. You don't have to do that, it's completely up to you. Just adjust it as you go. I would say for this wreath form that Dollar Tree carries, you'll probably want at least 10 to 12 feet of ribbon or fabric. Whatever you have on hand, you're probably going to want that amount. And then you just, if you need to add a couple more, you just glue that on and then just keep on going, and then nobody will be able to see that extended sign. There's just glue it on, and that's the way it will look. And now I took this ribbon that I also got from Walmart. It's wired. I'm just looping it around to make a bow. Everybody makes bows in different ways. You can do whatever works for you. This is a really easy way though to make it, and then you just take a piece of twine and wrap it through the middle, and then you'll just twist it, and then you can tweak your bow the way you want to. I suggest using ribbon that has wire in it, because then you can really twist it the way you want to make it look. I cut the edges of the bow as well, and then I just went ahead and hot glued that to the top of the wreath. And it's really cute just on its own actually. And then I took a cotton pick from Dollar Tree and added that to the very top as well. And then I took the tip of a reindeer and just added that just for a little bit of character to the top of the wreath. And I really love the way it looks. You can leave it just like this, but I decided to take a wooden letter that I found at Walmart for $1 and put that in there, and then I took some greenery from the Dollar Tree and then added that on the back just to hang it up, and this is the way it turned out. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, that way you never miss a DIY, a decorating, or a lifestyle video here on my channel, because I love to inspire and motivate you here. For the next project, these are the items that you will want. Now, the first part of this actually wasn't filmed because my camera battery died, and I didn't notice until I looked up and I was like, what happened to all my clips? So, sorry about that. I basically cut out a square piece of fabric, then I stuck the wooden shape on there, traced around it with a pencil, and then I cut it out, and you'll see me doing that right here. It's really simple to do, but that way you get a nice clean finish on your ornaments. Dollar Tree carries these wooden ornaments. They're really good size. They're about 4 inches a piece, and they are so cute. You get, I think it's 5 or 6 for each package. Hopefully you guys will still be able to find them. The next step was to take some Mod Podge or glue, whatever you have, and stick that on, and then put your fabric side up and then press it on and just let it dry. And then I decided to take the same other ribbon and just kind of basically tie a knot in it and make like a little mini bow, a fabric bow, and then just pull off the little frayed pieces of twine and then glue that onto it. I was gonna do alternating burlap and then the green and then the silver and white material, but I didn't like that in the end. I liked them all being the same. So I just took my pencil and poked through to make a hole through the fabric. And then I'm adding my twine on there. You could just glue the twine on the back. That'd be the easiest way to do it. I ended up putting the twine through and then gluing it to the back just so that the ornaments would lay flat. But this is the way the garland turned out, and I think it's so cute. Again, I'm obsessed with this green plaid print that Walmart has right now. It is so cute. I'm just obsessed with it. I love it, and I like the two together. I think it's really adorable. So for this DIY, it's probably my favorite besides those two that I just did. It's just so cute, and it just turned out really well. You'll need a stove cover for this. Dollar Tree carries them in a 2-pack, a larger and a smaller one. So the first step is to take whatever fabric you want as your background, or you could paint a background on. Get a piece of wood, add your Mod Podge if you're using fabric, and then you're going to lay that fabric on and then press it all on until it's completely flat. I will say this burlap, Walmart carries it at a really good price, but it doesn't lay as flat as like regular material. You have to kind of hold on to it. So I ended up adding a little bit of hot glue around the edges just to hold it on there. And now I'm using those Jenga blocks again, and I'm adding them together, just gluing each piece together. And I did 5 across this one, or actually 6, sorry. And then I made sure it fit the size of my sign, and then I'm going to do a second layer of blocks, gluing each of them together and then gluing them down. Make sure when you're doing this it lays flat, because this is what's going to hold up your sign, just like it did for the music sign that we made. You can make this however thick or small you want. Once that was dry, I took some black paint and just covered the top sides of it in the I just wanted it to kind of look like it was burnt and blend in a little bit. I didn't want to do the stained look for this. Again, do what works for you. The next step is to take that stove cover and paint the inside of it. Again, I'm just using black paint by Waverly, and you can use whatever you want. You could spray paint this if you wanted to and get a really clean finish. I actually like the little bit of texturing through the through brushing it on, so it just depends on for you. I'm taking a small strip of wood. It's about 2 inches in height, and then the length is, I think it's 8 inches. I painted that white. Now I'm taking these ornaments, the reindeer, and again I'm splitting them in half because I only want one side of it, and I'm taking these other ornament trees and then I'm going to glue them onto the wood stove cover. Now I had to use a lot of hot glue for this, so I would suggest using E6000 if you want this to stay permanently with the hot glue, and then press something heavy on it. The next step was I actually printed out the word Merry Christmas. I put the pencil on the back side of it so that way I could trace it onto my sign, and then I'm just using a paint pen in black and then going over my lines. Dollar Tree started carrying the paint pens. I found silver and gold. I haven't found black yet, but they might have it, so keep your eyes out on that. It was on the end cap when I went. Then I took a couple of those snowflake stars. I've been using these like crazy for projects lately, and put those all around so it's kind of like under the moonlight, I guess you could say. I took some of that fern greenery that Dollar Tree carries along with some red berries and just clipped off a few, and then I'm just layering those on. You can use whatever you would like for this, but I'm loving the way this looks. I think it's so pretty. I'm adding tons of glue to the trim, and then I'm going to glue on my wood sign that says Merry Christmas to it. And I think it's really cute on its own. I took a little bit of the green like tying sprigs that Dollar Tree carries and cut it into 4s, and then just added that behind it for a little pop of color because I felt like it needed a little bit more, and I really like the way this came together. Then I just added a little bit more berries to it, and then the next step was to take hot glue and then glue the sign down onto it that we made earlier. And again, you could, if you're using, wood, you could staple this together for even better, hold. And then I added hot glue to the back and then glued on my sign. Then I felt like it needed a little bit pop of color still, so I took that green tying sprig and then just added hot glue to the top, and then pushed that on, and then just clipped off any excess with my wire cutters. And then I'm loving this ribbon again from Walmart. Dollar Tree does carry quite a bit. I ended up putting one bow in the middle. You can do what works for you for this, but I love the way this sign came together. I think it's my favorite project that I've done out of these ones so far, even the last few. So if you've missed any videos, I will have them all linked down below for you to get even more ideas to decorate your home this year on a budget. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new. As always, I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you so much for watching and being here and part of my channel, and I will see you all in the next one. Christmas decorating videos will be coming soon for you.